Have you ever noticed something strange? The harder you try to become happy, the more happiness seems to slip away. You tell yourself, once I get that job, I'll finally be happy. Once I find the right person. Once I make more money. Once people recognize me. And for a moment, when you finally get it, it feels good. But then something happens. A few days pass. A few weeks maybe. And that same emptiness quietly returns. Then another goal appears. Another chase begins. And without realizing it, many people spend their entire lives running toward happiness, but never truly arriving. Now here's what's fascinating. High in mountains and hidden temples, Zen monks live very differently. They don't spend their lives chasing happiness. In fact, many of them avoid chasing it completely. And yet, if you look into their eyes, there's a peace there. A calmness that many of us spend years searching for. So what do they understand that we don't? Why do people who never chase happiness often seem more at peace than those who do? Tonight, let's explore one of Zen's deepest secrets. A secret that might completely change the way you see your own life. From childhood, most of us are handed an invisible map. A map that says life works like a staircase, and at the top of each step, happiness is waiting. Get good grades. Then you'll be happy. Get the perfect job. Then you'll be happy. Fin low. Then you'll be happy. Buy a house. Become successful. Become someone. Then, finally, you'll be happy. But let me ask you something. If happiness is waiting at the destination, why are so many people miserable on the journey? Why do people who seem to have everything still feel empty inside? Zen teaches something radically different. The problem isn't the goal. The problem is the chasing. Because every time you chase happiness, you quietly tell your mind, what I have now is not enough. Who I am now is not enough. And once your mind learns that lesson, peace becomes almost impossible. Because now your happiness always lives somewhere else. Somewhere in the future. And the future is a place no one can ever live in. Because life only happens here. Only now. There's an old Zen idea that says, happiness is like a butterfly. The more you run after it, the more it flies away. But if you sit quietly, it may gently land on your shoulder. Think about your happiest memories. Really think. Maybe it was laughing uncontrollably with friends. Maybe it was sitting beside someone you loved. Maybe it was watching rain fall outside your window, or walking home during sunset after a long day. In those moments, were you trying to become happy? Probably not. You weren't chasing anything. You were simply there, completely present. And that's what made the moment beautiful. But humans have a habit. The moment something beautiful arrives, we immediately say, I want this forever. And that's where suffering begins. Because life changes, everything changes, feelings change, people change, seasons change, nothing stays. And the moment we try to hold tightly onto something temporary, fear enters the room, fear of losing it, fear of change, fear of life itself. There's an old story. A man once visited a Zen monk and said, Master, I want happiness. The monk smiled. He picked up a stick and wrote 3 words in the dirt. I want happiness. Then he erased the first word, I want, and he said, this is ego. Then he erased the second word, happiness, and he said, this is desire. Now only one word remained, E. The monk looked at the man and smiled. Now, you are left with yourself. Simple story, but powerful. Because most of our lives are spent reaching for something we believe will complete us. But Zen says, when your mind constantly reaches outward, you slowly lose yourself because your attention is always somewhere else, always tomorrow, always later. Meanwhile, life quietly whispers, I am happening right now. Here's something uncomfortable. Maybe we're not actually chasing happiness. Maybe we're running away from pain, from loneliness, from silence, from fear, from emptiness. Think about it. The moment we feel uncomfortable, what do? We grab our phones, open social media, watch videos, scroll endlessly, search for distractions, anything to avoid sitting still, because silence feels scary. Because when everything becomes quiet, we meet ourselves, and sometimes that's the person we've been avoiding all along. But Zen monks do something unusual. They don't run. They sit quietly with their thoughts, with discomfort, with loneliness, with uncertainty, because they understand something important. The person who runs from pain also runs from themselves, and maybe that's why so many of us feel exhausted. Not because life is hard, but because running is. So why do Zen monks never chase happiness? Because they discovered something most people never realize. Happiness is not a destination, it's a side effect. It appears when the mind stops fighting reality, when you stop trying to control everything, when you stop resisting this moment, when you stop asking life to become different before allowing yourself to feel okay. A strange peace begins to appear, and from that peace, real happiness quietly grows. Tonight, before you sleep, try something. Sit alone for 2 minutes. No phone, no music, no distractions. Don't try to achieve anything. Don't try to become happier. Just sit and ask yourself, if there was nowhere I needed to go and nothing I needed to become, would I still be okay? Maybe, just maybe, that's where the search ends and life begins. If this video spoke to something deep inside you, subscribe, because this channel isn't about motivation, it's about understanding the mind. And remember, the happiness you keep searching for outside might have been waiting quietly inside you all along.